Hey guys, welcome back to the DCAU Movie Review and Talk Through. And yes, that is maybe a bit wordy. But we're gonna continue reviewing recent DC animated movies, all part of the DCAU, which is the DC Animated Universe. Now, if you thought the plot of Batman vs. Robin, which is the film I reviewed last, was a bit confusing and disjointed, do I have a surprise for you? Because today, or rather tonight, we're going to be going over Batman Bad Blood. And it's very, very winding. It's got a lot of protagonists. I think that's one of the things that is helpful to know going into the film about how it's going to be presented, because there's a lot of things to follow and keep track of. And that's made infinitely worse by the fact that there's not one, but two major plot twists we are presented with in this film. So I'll try to keep it as simple as possible, but keep with it. You'll understand the plot. Took me a while, you'll get it. Man, maybe I really should have finished writing the plot synopsis before I started this. Hello, hi, the plot. So the film begins and we see the Electrocutioner. Maybe I'll put up a picture of the Electrocutioner. Not the one from this film, because the one from this film looks dumb. And I like, he's the one from the Arkham Origin. If you know him, you know. He got the kick in the face. It was great. And he's electrocutioning some poor mob accountant before a new character, Batwoman, shows up on the scene and starts shooting guns because she has guns. Batman shows up, and he promptly asks this Batwoman to leave the premises. She refuses, therefore Batman has to spend the rest of the fight multitasking to make sure she doesn't kill someone, but thankfully she doesn't hit anything with her guns in this fight except for a robot, so it's fine. She also forgets how that maybe guns aren't good in this scenario, because she times her reload kind of poorly. But this is all put to a halt when a large, masked villain makes his entrance. But surprise, surprise, Batwoman instantly loses her fight with the masked assailant. Who could have seen that coming? Oh, I'm so... Oh, my heart. It hurts. I'm having a heart attack from how surprised I am. That was a lie. I was putting on an act. I saw that coming the whole time. So does Batman, as he is forced to stop fighting the masked assailant and instead waste his time saving the character that no one likes. Before she makes a big old splat on the factory floor. Masked assailant uses this opportunity of Batman's indisposedness, the time that he is indisposed. He used that opportunity to detonate the explosives that he has in this factory building, warehouse, wharf building, large glass building. Batman flings Batwoman out the window. It could have been a death threat, wanting before he dies from the explosion to kill Batwoman. Also, it could have been him saving her. I'm not quite sure. Either way, she is saved, but the factory explodes. Forgive me, Batman. I must indulge in this cheesy delight. I apologize. The movie's not really better than this anyway. If you're watching this right now and you haven't eaten dinner, go eat dinner first. Because the dinner's better than the film. This is what Batwoman looks like, by the way. Imagine that through the rest of the review. Use your mind hole. Really canoodle it. Alright, back to the plot. Flash forward 2 weeks, and we see Alfred sending out a distress signal to Nightwing, finally letting him know that this isn't just some bat prank done by Batman. This is the plot of the film we're talking about. Batman has not shown back up. Nightwing's like, I know it. I know that. I know the movie's happening. Damian, who, remember, went to the Himalayas at the end of the last film, and it's been presumably a little bit since then, has brought his iPad with him to the Himalayas, and those monks in the Himalayas, you know how they always have charging ports. And he checks his iPad and it says, "Where is the Batman?" Batman, on like a newspaper, and he's like, shit, I gotta be in this movie. Next thing we get is the character introduction for Batwoman, aka Cassandra Cain, which is a dumb name, but whatever. Blah blah blah, boring sad backstory. Only things of note are that her dad gives her all the info for her crime fighting, which is very important, and I'll bring it up once I get my thoughts for this film. And she got saved by Batman early in her life, which led to her hating Batman. So real quick, if you didn't catch that, if you didn't understand that, let me give you a quick breakdown. Step 1 was she was gonna get, like, sexually assaulted by some criminals, so Batman showed up and saved her. Step 2 was hating Batman. Step 1, saved by Batman. Step 2, saved by Batman in a situation where you do need saving. Step 2, you hate him. What's that? That's dumb? That's a dumb character trait that makes you not like the character that is supposed to be your protagonist? Well, real quick, let me put myself in the pants of the writer. Oh, I didn't understand. These were big boy pants. I had a misunderstanding. These are big boy pants, and when you wear the big boy pants as a writer, you get to decide what makes sense. I'm the asshole.
Hey, but little fucker boy is back in Gotham. That's right, Damian Wayne is back in Gotham. You got the fucker gremlin boy. He's back. Ooh, yeah, baby. You got Damian Wayne. That's the son of Batman, baby.
He's back. And he, fortunately enough, both he and Batwoman see someone dressed as Batman show up exactly at that point in time. And they're like, hey, wait, it's not time for Batman to show back up in this film yet. Who's that? So they chase him down. It's Nightwing. Mwah, mwah. He's just put on the Batman suit. How embarrassing. Nightwing explains to them both that he's temporarily taken up the mantle of the Bat in order to stop widespread chaos throughout Gotham. I mean, think of the crime spree that villains would go on if they figured out Batman was dead. Big yikes. But whatever, we don't care about this because it looks like the large, masked foe from before, who has now been revealed as a villain known only as the Heretic. Very mysterious. Ooh, religious connotations. Ooh, except this film has nothing to do with religion. Ooh, real spooky. I love names that have nothing to do with the plot. It brings me joy inside. This guy's leading an assault on Wayne Enterprises Tower. That's a strange choice. You'd only make that decision if you knew Batman was Bruce Wayne. Whatever. He decides to single out one specific employee, Lucius Fox, who we all know is the guy who makes all of Batman's prototypes, kind of like the only normal civilian who maybe knows who Batman is, because that's he was Morgan Freeman in the Christian Bale movies. You know him. He's great guy. Heretic decides, this random guy, I'll go up to him and make him open the prototype Bat Vault. It really sounds like this Heretic guy might know that Batman's Bruce Wayne. I could be wrong. But shut up about those questions, dickhead. The writer's wearing his big boy pants. And you can't question a writer when they're wearing their big boy pants. I bet you feel like an idiot. You're so stupid, you buffoon, you absolute dummy, to think that you could possibly know the answer to these questions, which kind of is never actually answered. But you don't get to know that, stupid, because Damian and Nightwing show up, and you're gonna enjoy that, stupid. And they show up, and they fight the Heretic, but unfortunately it's too early in the film, and they didn't read the script. They don't know that they can't beat him yet. It's not like later in the film yet. And so Heretic is able to escape with the technology, but not before, nearly mortally injuring Lucius Fox. Now this is the turning point of the film, where it goes from engaging, interesting, maybe even likable, to abysmal, bad, other synonyms for bad. And it's 25 minutes in. Oh, God. It's 25 minutes in. What have I done?
What have I done?
The heretic returns to his lair with the loot he obtained from looking at Batman's Wikipedia page. And we discover that Batman is still alive, but he's hooked up to a weird machine, and he's getting experimented on by the Mad Hatter. And if you don't know who that is, it's a dude who thinks he's Alice in Wonderland's Mad Hatter. And he, operates by drugging you and doing dreams and stuff. Don't worry. So, what the plan is to brainwash him, which we learn from our rogue Talia Al Ghul entering the film, revealing that she's the mastermind behind it all. She's employed the help of Heretic and Mad Hatter to brainwash the Bat. And, I don't know, maybe have sex with him again. But the writers for this film aren't all mean. They give us as the audience a nice treat, which is over 6 minutes of really boring dialogue and scenes of characters that we don't care about. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I really, I don't have a joke. It's bad. It annoys me. This annoys me. Oh, finally, it's 6 minutes later. Damian's leaving the Batcave, but he's ambushed by the Heretic, who knows where the Batcave is? What? The Heretic takes Damian back to his lair, and he reveals that he is a clone of Damian. Do not try to make sense of it. It does not make sense. You will waste your time. I'm so done, man. I'm so done with this. Ooh, but it's all good, baby. We're keeping it positive here. You're having a great time. I'm having a great time. There's so much more of this film to go. Oh my God, there's so much more of this film. Talia walks in and is like, oh, I didn't check the calendar. I didn't realize it was not follow my plans and instead abduct a child day. Might be. And immediately kills the Heretic. Nightwing and Batwoman arrive, having followed a tracker inside Damian's suit, and by Willikers, I've neglected a very important fact. The writer, yes, it says so right here, is wearing their big boy pants. Forgive me, Father, I have sinned. And as we all know, 3 protagonists is just not enough for a big boy. A big boy needs 4 protagonists. So we just fucking shoehorn in Luke, the son of Lucius Fox, to be our 4th protagonist. And he shows up wearing some prototype Batman armor, which basically looks like Iron Man, but Batman. Okay. I love it. I don't love it. I hate it. That was a lie. I'm a 30s thinking liar. You can't trust a thing I say. Bam! There's Luke wearing the prototype Iron Man armor. He's called Batwing. He's there. Canoodle it. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. I did not show the Heretic's design because it was dumb and not very memorable. That was too many beats. I cannot do this off the top of my head. But I did. And here we are. So enjoy. Our protagonist saved Batman, but not before Talia and the Mad Hatter can escape. Well, whatever, probably not a problem. Flash forward a week, and Batman is mostly recovered. He's acting kind of weird, though. Kinda sus. Batman kinda sus.
But, no worries. Don't worry, my friend.
It's not like there's gonna be a huge important tech summit with all the world leaders that Bruce Wayne will have to hold. Wait, our cast of heroes realized too late that this was plot twist number 2. Come on, guys, get to it. You gotta start reading the script. It's what the villains are doing. And Batman was successfully brainwashed. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs is what Nightwing said, I think. So the Mad Hatter begins brainwashing all the world leaders, but Nightwing, Robin, keep count, there's a lot, Batwoman, Batwing, and this time Alfred as well, arrive to save the day. Alfred's there. He's the best part. But, like, come the fuck on, man. Why? Why? Ha ha ha! I laugh. You guessed it. It's climax time, baby. Ooh, yeah. I would like to personally toast this film. Got my drink right here. Here, do you want to clink glasses? Yeah, there you go. I would like to give a toast to this film almost being over.
Fuck this movie!
Damian fights some big henchman guy. Batwoman fights Talia because women can't fight anyone who isn't a woman. Nightwing fights Batman, and Alfred fights the Mad Hatter. Everybody wins except Nightwing, but don't worry, Batman's Batman, so he just undoes his brainwashing because he gets the emotional support of his Bat Kids. That's all I can say. But Talia escapes yet again. How embarrassing. But don't worry, she's killed by some fucker. And her plane thing crashes into the ocean at the end. Batgirl. Also Batgirl. They show Batgirl. It's over. It's over, guys. We did it. I'd like to thank the Academy and my little boy. I swear to God, these plot summaries just keep getting longer. How long will it continue? How many review? I'll be on the 7th film I review, and the plot summary will be 3 hours. Be longer than the film. Okay, so now we're gonna get into my thoughts. Oh boy, my thoughts. I think it's important for me to point out before I start digging into this movie that I honestly think if you really liked the characters of Batwing and Batwoman, that you'd probably be much more into this film than I was. Would it still have most of the same objective flaws that I'll point out? Yes. But a lot of what I didn't like about this film was I just didn't give a shit about Batwing and Batwoman. And I'm sure Batwoman's character makes sense in the context of the comics, but how it's written here, maybe they wrote it different or they cut stuff out. Whatever it is, how they did it in the film makes no sense and makes her truly unlikable. So, starting off, Nightwing at one point says that Batwoman should work with him and Robin as part of the Bat family. But she says, and I quote, "Just because I wear this doesn't mean I'm a part of your little cult. Just because I wear this, I'm not a part of your little cult." This. Which is, everyone's entitled to their opinion. That's discredited just maybe a little bit by the fact that she dresses like Batman. She wears a bat symbol and has bat ears on her bat cowl. Fucking idiotic. Truly fucking idiotic. This is the character I'm supposed to like? Are you kidding me? Moving on. Batwoman is established to be a strong, independent woman who does not require the help of men. Love it. Love it. However, and this is a very, very big however, her distaste for Batman disrespects the concept of taking ownership of one's life and femininity. He saved her as she was assaulted by multiple guys in an alley while drunk. That's the scenario. It's very cut and dry. In that scenario, it was not like Batman's imposing himself on her and she wasn't actually in distress. She was in distress. This was a very serious situation that could have gone very poorly if she had not received help. She then goes on to disrespect Batman. Oh boy, what a likable character movie. Thanks. there is a difference between a woman not needing a man in her life and a woman who is willing to accept help from law enforcement when she's being assaulted. Additionally, she gets all her intel from her dad, so she doesn't need men. Oh, except her dad, who gives her all her crime-fitting information. Oh, and also Batman, who saved her back in the day, and she'd be, like, much more emotionally traumatized if he hadn't. This is a joke. This is a joke of a character. Oh, and on a side note, there's a scene where Batwoman has to fight her dad in her underwear, because her dad gets brainwashed as well, I guess. Why did we need that scene? Oh, fun fact, we didn't. Moving on again. How this movie managed to make Talia Al Ghul boring is truly beyond me. But they pulled it off. Congrats. Her villain plot's boring. Any of her trademark character, non-existent. Imagine Talia Al Ghul, if you know anything about her character, imagine her in her head, like none of that class or that intrigue, that like controlling entire rooms of people just with her presence. Like, her stage presence is so grand that, like, she walks into a room, everyone answers to her, basically. Even her dad, like, when you see her. And, like, all of that's gone. There's no oomph to her character, which is tragic. Not to mention that her master plan is boring, too. I mean, like, brainwashing world leaders, give me a break. And then you've got her whole cloning thing with Damien's blood, and the heretic Damien clone needs to kill Damien and get his brain to get his feelings and emotions and stuff, but he somehow maintains memories of the Batcave. That's not how DNA works. They figured out that memory comes from the hippocampus right here in the brain, like back in 1950 through horrible lobotomies. But they figured it out, and this film didn't get the memo, I guess. And, you know, Heretic, despite what they revealed, but what they ruined his character with, it later reveals, was the only interesting villain in this entire movie in those first 25 minutes. They had this really cool subplot going of, like, not subplot, but theme running of people using the image of the bat and being inspired by the bat, but not directly. Batwoman's case, she was inspired to not need his help. The wiki says, like, she doesn't need his help again. If that's true, that did not come off in the way of the movie, but I'll try to believe them. And then Heretic also, I'm not going to put an image up still because it's dumb, but he also still kind of looks like a bat, and that's interesting, but gets abandoned because I don't fucking know. Funnily enough, this is the first film in the DCAU, I believe, that starts this running trope of Nightwing getting his arm dislocated, like his shoulder, and not being able to use it in a fight. Yes, that's a trope. Why? I mean, I don't really mind, but I thought I might as well point it out. But, gods be praised, I have one good scene to point out, which is at the very end. I mentioned that Alfred went with them, and I only mentioned it for like one sentence, that he fought the Mad Hatter, and you might have been thinking to yourself, what the fuck are you talking about? He fought the Mad Hatter? He did. He's telling Mad Hatter to, like, shut down the machine. The Mad Hatter's like, goes and lunges and attacks Alfred. And Alfred, you know, he fought in a war. And so he, like, parries the Mad Hatter and kind of throws the Mad Hatter back, who then lands in his dream machine brainwasher thing, and it gets overpowered, and his head explodes. Alfred makes a supervillain's brain explode, and that's a thing I can say. Honestly, thank you for that movie. That's cool. But that was all my thoughts I had on the film. Now, I really wish this was the lowest point of the DCAU. I really wish this was the worst point of the DCAU. But it's not. There are films that are worse than this. A couple. And because of that, and because I think there are a few pretty good redeeming qualities about this film, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5, which isn't great. It's not great to say that, like, this isn't the worst, but it's what we got. So anyways, hope you all have a good night. I'll see y'all again sometime soon with another review. I'm not quite sure which movie I'll be doing next, but I'll let you know. Have a good night.